What's going on, everybody? My name is Myke Toledo. Welcome to the podcast. Joe is taking some time off. He's doing some other things. Busy. We have both been busy for setting up some new things. I'm, as you guys may or may not know, I've been concentrating on some new things, like a new division, like a paint protection film division and a ceramic coating. And it is called Glossy Guardians, glossyguardians.com. I'll get into that just a little bit later. It's been pretty dang busy. I also do PDR training, and this podcast is about the 10 mistakes PDR beginners make before they actually go to school. And I've got a lot of friggin' things to try to cover. 10 things, right? And we're going to help you make a better decision before you go to a school, okay? So be careful about going to those schools because they're not out for your best interest. I would say 80% of them are not out for your best interest. And so we're going to get into why in just a second here. My name is Myke Toledo. I've been training for PDR professionally since 2001. I've been in the business since 1991. I learned when I was 19 years old. My stepdad got me into it. He sent me, in a nutshell, he sent me off to San Diego. I learned in Palm Desert. He was in Palm Desert. I was in San Diego. I had to fend for myself, really kind of self-teach myself a lot of different things on my own. I learned a lot through trial and error. I didn't get good until decently until about 3 to 5 years, maybe. But I would say decent until 5 years. And I know that seems like a long time, but I was probably and I was working for my stepdad, and his website, or his name of his company, was Dent Man, right? So I was known for 10 years as Dent Man, Myke with Dent Man. And so long story short, 2001, I started my own company, Dent Time. And so in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is if you don't get good training, right, you're probably not going to be in that position where you can be, have that perseverance, right, and have that a safety net. So we're going to get into all those things about PDR training and what you should look for. And if you have any questions, you can always set up a free consultation on my website, denttime.com. Go to the PDR training pages, and you can set up a consultation. But please don't set up a consultation if you're not serious. So what I mean by this is if you don't take the time and to learn PDR the right way, and you're not ready to go full throttle into PDR, then don't even think about training, right? Don't waste your time with anybody. What you might want to do is check out denttrainer.com. That's my online PDR training tutorial site. Perfect for beginners because it teaches you a lot just about the fundamentals and the foundation and what tools to purchase. So again, we're going to kind of build up all that. Meanwhile, I'd like to talk about some of the events that are going on right now. Not really much except one main event called the PDR Expo. It's kind of a spin-off of the Mobile Tech Expo in Florida, which is one of the biggest ones, actually the biggest one of the year. So they're doing a PDR just for Paintless Dent Repair industry in Las Vegas. You can go check out, I think it's pdrexpo.com. I believe so. Or you can get more information on mobiletechexpopdr.com. So go check that out. It's coming up pretty soon. I don't have the exact dates. I think it's sometime in September. If you're wondering if I'll be there, I will not be there. I've been traveling quite a while all over the place, and I just need a break. I'm training right now, and I'm going to give you an idea why good training isn't easy to teach, and it's not going to be easy for you to learn. So 10 mistakes that PDR beginners make before they go to school. All right. And I'm going to kind of combine number 1 and number 2. As you guys can tell, I don't bullcrap a lot on this podcast. We get right into the details. I'm not going to waste your time. I know your time's valuable, just like mine. So we're not going to be farting around here, okay? If you are a beginner, this is for you, okay? If you're thinking about training in school, or personal PDR training or online training, this you definitely want to listen to. And it's a podcast. You can watch it on video, whatever you like. You should be able to just tune in and just, please, I'm going to save you misery. I'm going to save you thousands of dollars, a lot of your time wasted, and you're going to be able to steer away from some of these places that that are going to, I'm not going to mention names, but by the time I'm done and you do your research, I think you're going to find out what you might be accidentally getting into, and you'll thank me later. So, number one, and this is number 1 and 2 together. So I'm going to kind of combine them together because it is kind of just a big number 1, but I split up in 2. So purchasing unknown tools. All right. So you purchase tools. And number 2, you purchase overwhelming tools. My biggest, I would say, request is people ask me before they even touch a dent, what tools should I purchase? Or before they even watch good videos. Another thing too is YouTube is great, but it's not enough. Okay. There's some good videos out there, but it's not enough. And you're kind of hoping, right? You're going to get, find the right tools. Don't buy tools you don't understand how to use. There is 3 tools that are video coming out really soon. There's 3 tools, and I have already PDR tools for beginners. You should watch that. Okay. There's 5 tools, but now I'm going to make it down to 3 tools. You really don't need a lot of tools. Get good at these 3 efficient tools. If you buy tools you don't understand, you're going to buy cheap and you're going to buy twice. Or you'll buy expensive and not necessarily understand how to use them. That is, either way, it's bad. So don't buy tools you don't understand. Go get proper training first, or if you want to learn and understand which tools that do what on each panel, then go check out denttrainer.com. There's a good course inside of the website called Ground Zero PDR Training. Starts from the top all the way down. It's the foundation of paintless dent repair, and you will not leave confused. So highly go check that out. I'll put some links in the bottom of this video that you hear and in the podcast. That way you can just kind of click and go to it. Because the reason why, I'm going to look at more of my notes here, but overwhelming tools, like if you buy a lot of tools, you get confused, right? If you have too many tools, you don't know what they do. You're just guessing, right? And when you guess, you cause a lot of confusion. So don't buy any tools before you go to PDR your course, and don't buy tools because you are over anxious. You're impatient. You want to just go ahead and do it. Do not underestimate the skill set it takes for paintless dent repair. It is way, way, way harder than you think. I know you're seeing someone like myself, or you're seeing other people out there doing magic tricks, right? You see the before and then poof, you see the after. Wow, it looks cool. He was done in like 10 seconds, 5 seconds. That was just a little ding. That thing can pop out really easy. I can pick that up. I'm good with my hands. I'm in the auto body industry. I've done this. You're going to get your butt kicked, because those are the ones that actually get their butt kicked the most, is that they underestimate things. The ones who are thoroughly doing their research and are patient, you'll do well. I say this in almost every video when it comes out about paintless dent repair training. If this is going to be a good fit for you, you have to ask yourself, do you have what it takes? And what this means is that, do you do projects in your life? Do you start them and then you quit them? You start a project, but you never finish it. That's what PDR is like. I mean, this is going to be one of the hardest projects you're going to ever take on. Now, I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm trying to be very transparent about how difficult PDR is. And when you don't go to somebody that understands how to teach you and get over those challenges that you are going to have, indeed you will, and they don't know how to recognize what challenge you're having, you're in trouble. Or better yet, they don't even care. They get you in the door And by the way, look out for these people who are not the PDR trainer. There are maybe a salesperson trying to get you in, but they have they're not talking to you. They're not a PDR tech. They're not the ones that are training you. They don't have a reputation themselves. You watch out for that. Okay. So, and another thing with tools, right? You need to understand the functionality of each of these tools. That's why I really would like you to have 3 tools: a soft tip, a door tool, and a whale tail. That's it. Soft tip has the Swiss Army knife of all the tools. You can switch it in and out. Door tool is very thin. It's got a nice kick on it. It goes down the door for those common door dents. You can put tape on it to soften the tip. You can have an adjustable handle that goes on it. And it can really have a lot of different aspects of pushing. And you can interchange the tips. Really awesome tool. And then last but not least, the whale tail, because you can get between the thin bracing areas where the other tools will not be able to get. And you can pinpoint. If you master those things, because most dents are not in a brace, some are. And those are things you have to master. So that's important, why you have to understand what the tools do and why you're purchasing them. And don't buy a lot, because I'm saving you money. As you get more proficient, more understanding about the paintless dent repair tools, well, the more comfortable and the better you'll understand why you're purchasing them. So, okay. Number 3, choosing cheap non-brand tools like eBay or Amazon, right? Something that's not name brand. Be careful of the replicas as well, because let me explain to you. So you have a rod, right? And you're pushing, but the professional rod it doesn't have any flex, right? In the shaft, it's not bending, it's not flexing. And what that's like is for a newbie who doesn't understand, is that when you're pushing, you're getting that delay, right? In that tip. So it's bending here in the shaft, but not getting the drive in the tip. That goes for whale tails. That goes for the door tool specifically. And not so much in a rod, but what happens if that rod breaks? What happens if it starts rusting? What happens if it's corroding? All this stuff, right? And the tips fall out, they're cheap. Or you put a screw on tip, you're pushing really hard and the tip breaks because it's not high quality. So that's another reason. You might not think it's a big deal, but wait until you do, right? You're going to waste your time not only on cheap tools, but you're probably not going to get the results you want based on how strong the tool is or how weak the tool is, how much flex it has in it. And those Chinese stuff, man, you can bend almost every tool with your knee. So be careful about that, right? I'm going to get some really good parts. I'm going to save you not just that, but all right. Number 4, opting for the cheapest training. Okay. So there's some pitfalls about, you looking for the bargain hunting of education. So it's kind of like saying, hey, I'm going to go to community college, but I have an opportunity and I can afford Harvard because he says he can do paintless dent repair and he looks like he has a great website and he's telling me what I want to hear. And I really am price fixated because I can't really afford Myke Toledo or I can't afford, some other trainers out there. Well, I'll just go with this guy. And I think it's going to work out because I'm going to pick it up. That's a big, big mistake. What happens, I get calls on a weekly basis, sometimes not as much, but at least 4 or 5 times a month. Okay. People saying that they attended a course, it was horrible. The trainer wasn't next to him. He was either on the phone or he was doing something else. I've had people say they're in a barn, like on a hill, on a farm area, and the guy leaves them alone and he goes way down. All right. And he's way down at the bottom. And then they have to walk down there and go get him and come back up. That's just one thing. And then you're with a big, anyways, I'm going to stick to my topics here. I'm going to get to all these other things here, but cheap training, like if I've told you, if you want a cheap training, then you should just go to denttrainer.com. That's at least see if it's sparks you more interest, right? Low investment, $110, you have access to over 500 videos, crazy amount of courses, right? And there's tons of videos inside the courses. You get tool discounts. You get professional advice from an honest PDR technician who trains hundreds of people successfully. I'll put a list of my students that I've trained with websites who are popular, who've been in the business over 20 years since I've trained them, and people who are currently in the business who recently trained with me and who are very successful. I put my money where my mouth is when it comes to paintless dent repair training. So we're going to get even more to that. Please do not take me as being arrogant. I am not arrogant. I'm trying to really help you. Don't make mistakes. I've done multiple videos like this, but I realized it takes multiple videos for you people to see it, because once you see it, hopefully you'll take my advice. But what happens is that some people don't see it. They go to it, then they see my video later and they go, holy crap, man, this is exactly what happened to me. So I don't want it to happen to you. All right. You're going to get, what happens too when you go to a cheap training school is that you'll get also persuaded to buy their tools. Some of the tools are just holy crap. It's a money pit sometimes, man. Or they'll tell you to go to hey, let's give you this service. Let's try out, wheel repair. Let's do bumper repair, windshield repair. We'll do all these add-on services and we'll give you a great deal. Man, you're here and there to learn paintless dent repair training. Do you think you're going to be able to master PDR and these other services that you're trying to do at the same time? Heck no. There is no way. I guarantee you, after one day of trying to push a dent, you're going to go, holy crap. And then I'm going to get pulled away to do this and this and this. And they're not going to give you any good training on anything, dude. I mean, it's pretty sad. Okay. And I'll explain how training should be at the end of this. Okay. Number 5, mistaking vacations for training. So this is what I'm talking about. The allure of all-inclusive packages, identifying what really matters in training, and recognizing red flags in PDR school offerings. So you'll get somebody, you call the school, right? Or you send in a form, right? And next thing you know, you're getting called by this salesperson. They could be the owner, but they could be a person who's just there to make a commission. Either way, let me tell you how it usually goes, and then if it makes sense. So if whatever I say makes sense, I'm sure you're gonna probably say, okay, yeah, that's happened to me. Or when it does happen to you, you can go back and reflect on this. Okay. So you get a call. Hey man, what's going on? Cool. Hey, you want to come do PDR? Sure, man, we can get you in. You're going to make tons of money, man. This is going to be great. We got the best trainers in the world. We're going to do this, and we're going to show you this and this. And so when you get into the course, you're generally on a hood, okay? You're not working on real cars, and you're working on small little dents, right? And you're not getting any pre-training, basically no videos sent to you to help you understand what's going on. And you get there and you're with a big group of people, right? And nobody's actually getting real good attention. You don't want to be in a group of people. 2 people max. You and someone else. That's how I train. Sometimes it's one-on-one. It just depends on my schedule and if somebody books 2, if we have 2 people. No more than 2. I could easily do 1-week courses and kill it and make good money. If PDR training seems cheap and they're going to say, hey, we're going to give you a tool package. We're going to fly you in. You get free room and air. You get lunch. You get all these things. But you realize at the end, you end up paying for a vacation. You didn't get good training. You didn't get any good training. You leave confused. You know that you don't understand what the heck is going on. You don't know how to fix a dent. Then you go on my Facebook page and you're watching a student push out a dent the first day. It's not because he's gifted. It's because he's prepared. It's because I helped him understand how to push a dent out the right way. We don't do all these, theories and talk about this and that and draw on the board and stuff like that. My drawing and our theory is pushing, tapping down, moving the board, getting into the nitty gritty. Don't fall for the vacations. You're going to regret it. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. I think the average rate is anywhere between $2,500 to $3,500 for 5 days, right? Get all the tools and stuff like that. My cost is almost triple than that, okay? But that's for advanced. I will not train somebody brand new for 1 week. It's a waste of your time. You might as well join denttrainer.com. You were just getting your feet wet. And so I think you should be a minimum of 2 weeks to 4 weeks. 4 weeks, I'd say 80% of my students go for 4 weeks. I have a student currently right now in for 4 weeks. Next month, I have 2 for another 4 weeks. It's the best chance you can get to make PDR the best career possible for yourself. I mean, it gives you the best chance because there's a lot of foundation things to learn in the beginning. Lots of those things. And then at the end of this, I'll kind of do an overview. Maybe I'll go deeper into some of this stuff. Okay. Neglecting marketing and business strategy. So that, look, after you get done, even if you make it into PDR, right? You come back with some skills, right? What did you learn anything about the marketing? Did you learn anything about how to shoot video or how to set up your Google My Business or your YouTube channel? What were the things that worked? It's not just looking at, oh, look at Myke Toledo. I'll just copy exactly what he's doing. Yeah, but the details of how I do things are going to be different than how you perceive things. I get you ready for the real world. I help you understand any questions you have, maybe Google ads, paid ads, how to set up your website organically, SEO, all that stuff matters. I know it's the boring part, but if you're overlooking that while you go to your school, you're in trouble because I know plenty of techs who are fantastic, but struggle with getting business in their door or getting calls because they don't understand or they lack the guidance in how to market themselves. You need to make sure that is going to be part of it. And how deep is it going to be? Right? You really want to know. I have a file called the PDR blueprint. Right? I give it to all my students, make sure that they're prepared and they understand what to set up and how to set up, from picture taking, from shortcuts to your phone, to all kinds of things that make your business thrive and make you look professional and save you time. So it is important, just as important, to understand the marketing aspect, your business plan, all that goes into your PDR training. It's not just a one-sided thing. That's a big thing. And by the way, folks, if you think you're going to go to PDR school and then maintain your job full-time, I would think about that strongly because you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm not saying quit your job completely. Here's what I'm trying to say. Be ready for a full commitment to bust your butt. Every chance you get, you're going to be sacrificing your time with your family, your weekends, whatever it takes to learn paintless dent repair and do it right, because it's not easy. Everybody thinks it's so easier than what it appears. So I'm doing you guys a favor and trying to help you understand this is hard. You need a good trainer. You need good tools. You don't need a lot of tools in the beginning, specifically if you're trying to learn it on your own. And do not get enticed by these schools, all right, that are selling you vacations, because they do not give a crap if you survive or not. I'm telling you that. It ticks me off, honestly, because some of these people I know, but I don't, they're not my friends, but I know, okay? And it's disappointing because it's a money scheme. It really is, all right? If I could train people the right way or give a student enough time to develop PDR in a week, I would. I'd be offering the 1 week beginner course. Do what I consider doing 2-day training, because I see other people out there doing two-day introduction class. Fine, but you know what? You might as well just save your money, man, and just go for the real deal. Why don't you go to Dent Trainer? Save your money, save your trip, save your airfare, save all that. Honestly, I don't think going somewhere in person to learn 2 days. Now, would I do it? I might consider doing that, but I've been doing this for a long, long time, and I know what people need to have, right? Why do you think there's not as many 4-week training out there? You know why? Because it's very hard to teach a student week after week, 4 weeks consecutively, and be with them. And not only are they going to be frustrated once, twice, 3 times, 5 times, they could be frustrated 10 times or more. But it's my job to figure out what you're frustrated with and get you over that challenge. Do you think that people out there are going to want to do that? The trainers out, the so-called trainers? No. The shorter they can be with you, the better. Get you in. Oh gosh, he's kind of a pain in the butt. Good thing. I can't stand to be with people for 4 weeks. That's the number one thing I talk to other people. They can't handle it. It takes a lot of dedication. And the other thing is, you don't want to be picking a friggin' somebody. I think it's number 6. I'm going to go on here. So I'm going to double check here. On number 7, I'm going to say, well, you don't want to be picking a trainer that is doing PDR full time, and then you're shadowing them. You ain't going to learn nothing. You're just going to learn, okay, you'll learn how the operation goes, but you ain't going to learn how to do PDR. That's the wrong way. My stepdad did that to me my first year. It sucked. I didn't learn anything. The best way to do it was get on a dent and push with over-the-shoulder guidance, with the corrections. Hey, you're holding that tool wrong. Let's move the board differently. We're building your habits. We're helping you understand how to hold a tap down, how to look at the reflection, how to move the reflection. By the way, that reflection is your silent partner. That thing is key, right? You can't keep that board the same. You need attention, good attention. You can't go to these huge classes or somebody who says they know how to do PDR, and then because you're price fixated, that's how you're gonna fall on your face. All these things I'm trying to help you understand is what I hear time in and time out. I've heard this for decades. I've heard the horror stories. And there's a lot of bad trainers out there with good websites. So if I were you, I would ask for straight up references and not just people. That's not good enough, man. Ask for people with websites that are currently doing PDR, who graduated from their courses, and then do your research. Because then it's going to be, can you connect with the trainer that's going to train you? That's important. Speak to the trainer who's going to train you. See if you guys have some kind of connection. That's one of the important parts why you're able to talk with me on the phone, or you can have a video conference with me for 15 minutes, free consultation. See if you mesh with the trainer. And if you can't get with the trainer, that's a flag. If you feel like you're paying more for, like, you're getting a vacation, you're getting all these tools and you're getting this, that's Fantasy Island PDR training, man. Because you're going to get everything but PDR training. You're going to get a vacation, like I said. So there's a lot of things that you need to make sure that you do. And I'm not even done yet, right? These are the mistakes that people make, the PDR beginners make before they go to school. So choosing proximity over quality, right? Oh no, man, I'd rather go to, I'm looking for a school that's really close to me. That's kind of like saying that I want to go to community college, which is that's not saying that's not bad. We're talking like if you had the opportunity to go to the best school you could, and you could afford it, but you're like price fixated because you think, just like a consumer, you think that all PDR companies or trainers are the same. So you want to go out of the convenient factor where you go to this person and you get the fluff, and then you realize I guarantee you after one day, you guys will realize you made a mistake. And it doesn't feel good. It's scary, honestly. Some of you guys and ladies save up a lot of money and this to go. And then you realize, gosh, I'm putting my savings in my career and I want to do this, but I just realized I picked the wrong person. I picked the wrong company. It's important that you guys really do your research. I mean, this is your career, for goodness sakes. Don't be price fixated. If you can't afford somebody, but you know it's the right fit, then wait. Join denttrainer.com. At least get super familiar. You can work a little bit things. You're not going to develop bad habits. You can, though, if you just don't pay attention. Okay. So do not, and you don't be one of those people either. Just you're watching this video right now and you're like, well, I'm on YouTube. I've been learning pretty much a lot. You're not learning structure, though. You're not learning the framework, right? There's foundations and then your framework, right? You have this to learn, then you have this to learn. You have this to learn, and then you have this to learn. If you go from here, then here, and then here, and then here, it's like a house, right? You don't have the right foundation because you didn't finish this, and you're here. What do you think is going to happen? Boom, fall apart. It's going to fall apart. You should be taught on a foundation, framework basis. By the way, when people are training with me, I do not move them to the next step just because it's my agenda. These curriculums are BS, man. You are a curriculum. Every student is different. Do you think every student is going to do a smash dent at the end of his 4 weeks? No. But what they are going to leave by the end of the 4 weeks is a foundation. They're clean. They push small, tight dents. They know how to finish. They can do the fundamentals of a crease, a body line. But are they big smash technicians ready? No. But they're not confused. And you shouldn't leave your course confused. You should be challenged and you should be, yes, frustrated in certain parts, but you shouldn't be frustrated with the training. You shouldn't be frustrated with the training. There's a difference between the training and then what you're trying to learn, right? It's good that you fail. It's good that you have a hard time because those are the ones that you learn off of so you can be successful on the new dents. But I think you'll know the difference between that kind of frustration and the disappointment frustration when you're with a trainer that doesn't know really what they're doing and they're not out for your best interest. Lack of research on trainers. Like that, that's basically what I said, right? You have to do your research on trainers. Look for the reputation, right? How involved are they in the industry? What do they do? Are they doing tutorials? Are they giving value to you? Do you feel comfortable with that, right? Who have they trained? All that good stuff, right? Again, it's about who you mesh with and how you can relate to. I train young kids, 19, 16, all the way to 60 years old plus, right? I mesh with everybody. I am freaking a chameleon because I want you to succeed, right? I'm down to earth. I've been there. I was a 19-year-old tech in the beginning. I'm a 52-year-old tech now. Go check out, I've documented pretty much my PDR career on YouTube. I don't know anybody else in this industry has been on consistently, and you see the personality the same. When you meet me in person, I'm the same. I'm no different. I don't put this chameleon, actually I did say chameleon, but I don't put this act on and try to basically, deceive you. So be careful about that, right? Do your research, dig deep, because you're going to spend some money. Now, I'm personally more expensive than your general PDR trainers out there or schools, because think of me as a personal PDR trainer. So like if you went to the gym, you're not going to go get trained with 10 people and learn how to weight lift. No, that's how it is, right? If you did that, you're not gonna really work on yourself. You're not gonna become the best potential bodybuilder or get in shape person you can be. But when you work with a personal trainer, somebody who you're paying top dollar for, well, now they're working on you, right? They're looking at you. They're doing the measurement. They're doing everything. That's what I do with you. I look at you. Even if you're an advanced tech or maybe a tech that's been to these schools and now you're confused, well, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to make sure that, hey, let's get you in the right path, right? Let's get you in the right habits. Let's really propel you forward fast. It's a lot of work, man. And if you want a great opportunity to give yourself, pick a good trainer. Don't pick the schools, and do not go in a group. That's a big flag right there. Okay. That was number 9, by the way. If I skip some numbers, this is an on-the-go podcast, but it kind of like I put it all in one. Number 10, understanding the mental demands, okay? So I think I was kind of touching base on this. You are going to doubt that you're like, wait a minute, this is way harder than I thought, right? And it's really going to test like how good your mental toughness is, because when you're in the middle of the training, the first week specifically, when I'm training my students, I push them. I push them really hard. You're working on live cars, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't see like what you're talking about, Myke. Well, the mental part is like the brain and the eyes aren't on the same page. The eye sees what I see, right? We're on the same page. We can see what's going on, but your brain can't compute what's going on. It's very difficult to it's like having an argument. The eyes are like, hey man, don't you see that? There's the center. Yeah, but I see that. What the heck is all those squirrely things, man? What is this texture? What is this? It's kind of panicking, right? And then all of a sudden, next mode goes, man, I'm not getting this. I don't think I'll ever get this. This is way harder than I thought. And then out in the real world, it's the same. But my job is to prepare you for those things and to get you over those challenges. Nobody cares as passionate, as thorough as I do when it comes to paintless dent repair training. I should take that back. There's some other people out there that do some pretty good trainings, okay? I'm sure you're going to find some of those people out there. I'm not the only one. There's a few out there. But I think you're going to, it's just about a matter of research. I can guarantee you, though, when you're training with me, I will be next to you. I will make sure that you're not going to leave my course confused. I will make sure I set you up with the best opportunity to be successful. I will train you and guide you in the business marketing aspect. Very good. In fact, I'm probably one of the best people you can learn that from. I teach courses like this all around the world to do how to market your company, how to be exposed and video and photos, how to be excited and passionate about your company. Because if you're not passionate about your own company, how do you expect your clients to? So remember, you've got the business aspect and you got the physical PDR part aspect, right? You don't have one or the other. It's like this. It's like a teeter-totter, right? Because your skills are way up here, but your pricing, matter of fact, that's not marketing about how to get out there, but what do you price yourself at? Like, do you understand the value of your own service? You should be like this during your career. Not like this. Back in the old days, it was like this. Techs were getting really good. They were leaving the value of their cost down here and they were going up. But then when they wanted to bring it up, it was like a shock, right? And between that big space right there, right, is the mental. Because they were so conditioned, including myself, for a long time that we had to be cheaper than a body shop. We had to stay under the deductible of the client. We didn't understand a lot of those things. We didn't realize as we got really good and we were starting to do jobs that body shops would replace panels on, we were still charging under $500. Well, that times have changed now. As you can see, I'm very transparent with my videos and I charge accordingly. Some people think I'm out of my mind because I charge a lot. But honestly, what about the client's value? The person who got it fixed believes that, right? I think one of my last videos I did was a RAV. Well, I want to say last, but it was a recent video. I did a RAV4 quarter panel. It was amazing how many people thought that was a plastic bumper, but with all the knocking and tin canning and hitting, but nonetheless, it was a bad dent. It's $2,700. Took me 10 and a half hours. People were complaining because I was charging on average $250 an hour times 10 and a half hours, right? And they could say that they could replace it cheaper. And so those are the things that, I'm actually kind of clearing the path right now, right? I'm getting nailed to the cross on that, but you won't, because you'll get top dollar. When you train with me, you will make more money as well because you'll understand the value of your service. When you go to these other schools, they're not going to train you on that. They're not going to teach you that. And then what are you going to do? Your instinct is like, well, I'm not very good. So I'm going to kind of, like see what's the average rate, and I'll be lower than them. That's a race to the bottom. If you don't have good marketing and you're not taught well, you shouldn't even be in business. That's not a business. That's not a business. You're going to go out of business. That's a bad business plan. So if you had two clients, right? Let's hypothetically say you had two same vehicles, same dents. One is your friend, one's a paying customer. Who do you think you're going to do a better job for, and why? You're going to do a better job for the client. Why? Well, because you got a reputation to keep up. There's more to lose. But when you choose stuff for your friend that's for free and you get all these charity things, your quality goes down, because when you don't price it right or accordingly, what happens is that you lose that motivation. And when it gets hard, you quit. When it gets hard, you quit. But when you have a client and you do your price guide and you follow the PDR price guide Bible, which I show in all that price guide stuff, you never short yourself. And because when it does get hard, you're like, wait a minute, I'm getting paid some pretty good money here. I'm gonna at least try harder. I mean, I gotta get this done. But when you don't price it high enough, it goes down. Your motive, everything goes down, and everyone loses. When you price it right, everyone wins. Client is super thrilled and happy. You're motivated. You did a great job. You didn't cut corners because you were paid not to. But when you underpay yourself, you just opened up all those can of worms. So you see, there's a lot just beyond paintless dent repair training. There's the marketing part. There's the promotional part. You wear a lot of hats when you become a PDR tech, by the way. You're a business owner, you're a promoter, you're an editor, you're, an accountant, you are a mobile tech, you're everything. So don't think PDR is just PDR. You're going to own a business, not a charity, and you can't treat it like that. Otherwise, you will be in some serious trouble. So let me do a summary of this, okay? So I kind of wrote it down here. So in the world of paintless dent repair, the path of mastery is paved with challenges and learning curves. Newbies often stumble, tempted by large tool packages, swayed by cheap shortcuts, and lured by all-inclusive deals. But remember, real PDR training is more than just a tool in hand. It's about the right guidance, quality education, and a resilient mindset. As you embark on this journey, prioritize genuine training over convenience and always invest in your growth, because PDR isn't just about patience. It's virtue. It's a virtue, okay? And it's the key to perfection. So if you're a patient person, PDR is probably a really good fit for you. If you're very impatient and you don't finish things in life, and PDR, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be a good fit for you, okay? And if you're picking PDR because it makes a lot of money, that's not a bad choice, career picking, but because we can make a lot of money. So notice I said we can, but if you don't run your business right and you lowball yourself and you negotiate against your own self, then it might not be, actually it won't be the right fit for you. See, what happens is that you can't stop thinking about paintless dent repair. You want to do paintless dent repair. That's called passion. You do a dent. You can't get off of it. You try. You put hours into it. You're learning. That's called passion. You know what happens when you have passion? Money follows. It just follows because you're not worried about the behind you. You're not worried about, oh man, how much money am I going to make, man? How much money am I going to make? Because you love this, dude. You love PDR, and all of a sudden the money starts following. But when you are trying to you push money in front of PDR because you see this guy just billed $3,000 in one day because he did a hail job, or your friend or somebody else knows that, hey, this guy made like $60,000 in 1 month. That it's deceiving, right? Because you don't see the years sometimes people put into that to get that fast and get that good. Now, the good thing about with PDR training the new students is that they're learning at a record speed. When you are taught by the right trainer. Otherwise, you can kiss that goodbye. PDR isn't about speed, right? It's about patience. And give you one example, I'll leave. We're going to cut this down. If you were a brand new tech and you were in front of 50 professional PDR techs, including myself, you know what we're talking about when we're looking at you, watching you do a dent? We're talking about, okay, yeah, his pushes is clean. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. We're not going, dang, he's slow. Man, he needs to be faster. None of us say that. Because if I were recruiting you as a PDR tech, I want to see how clean your pushes are, how much you understand how to fix a dent. You might not get it out all the way, but is it cleaner? Does it look pokey, or does it look just, you just have a little left? So there's a big difference. So don't think because you can't finish a dent, you'll get there. But you have to be clean while you get there. It cannot look different. It has to look better. So patience is the virtue, right? Patience is the key to paintless dent repair. And make sure you choose the right paintless dent repair technician. Okay? My name is Myke Toledo. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'll leave the description down below. And soon we'll be up with Joe. I think I'm going to do another podcast. And then I think Joe will be up in about maybe hopefully in a couple weeks. And then we'll talk about what he's been up to and what he's doing. So I'll save my stuff and my kind of venture with my divisions, which is a slow start, but it's going good. I've got 2 PPF jobs coming this month, next week. And it looks like it's starting to roll on, dude. And that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to become a PDR tech, do not set up different divisions until you master PDR. PDR is the hub of everything, right? If you can master PDR, you can practically learn everything else. PDR is the hardest trade, in my opinion, to learn out of anything. Then I would say PPF, and then bumper repair, all that stuff. So, but that's a whole new can of worms as well. My name is Myke Toledo. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot, everybody.